Hey, what's up, guys? Man, it's nice out today. It's in the 70s, I think. Feels a little hotter than that even. It's midday. I'm kind of behind on everything, but I'll just give you a quick peek. You know, the paint always looks better before you put the shiny on there, but for being just the inside of the frame, it looks pretty good. And these motor mounts look pretty good. Paint's nice and hard. It's what we like to see. We got to get working on that. I did the top of the axle as well because you can't do it once the engine's in there, so I cleaned that up and painted it. Chances are we're going to change the axle in this truck because I want to put a heavier axle in the front, so, and probably some air ride, so I'm not super concerned about that. But I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I'm standing here in front of this gorgeous piece of machinery, and man, just look at it. This 2003 D-Deck 4 EGR 14-liter Detroit, and this is the first year of the EGR, first year compact valve train. I bought this engine before I knew much about 14 liters. I was looking for this mysterious non-EGR motor, and I gave up and bought this one. It was cheap. I think I get $4,000 for it, and you know, I bought it as a core, and so I paid $4 grand for it out of a running truck. It was mixing water in the oil, and didn't matter to me because I knew it needed rebuild, and I was fine with that. But hindsight being 2020, I should have just got a D-Deck 5, but I thought the D-Deck 4 was the way to go, but really D-Deck 5 is just as good. So anyhow, here it is in all its glory. We're going to do something different with this intake manifold. I think we're going to put a D-Deck 5 intake on it out of a fire truck because it comes out right here, and I think that would make a neater link up to the charge air cooler. So I think we're going to do that, and oh yeah, there it is. Yep, we'll have to get that sensor changed. I saw the sensor get broke last night. But yeah, we'll have to get that. We'll have to get a new one of those. Not a huge deal. Hopefully, yeah, it's a crank position sensor. We'll get a new one of those. But yeah, anyhow, hopefully it didn't damage this connector. That one may have already been broken, but we'll look. This doesn't really need to be on here, so we'll get that off. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to get some additional light over here, and we're going to start taking some things off. We'll take the starter back off, and we'll probably take the intake manifold off, and we'll take the wiring harness off. And I really wish that the air compressor was off, so we may take the air compressor off as well, and the computer back off, and get the side of the engine cleaned up, tape up the holes, get the back side of the front cover taped off, or get the back side of the front cover clean, and tape off the bell housing, the flywheel housing, and yeah, take off some of these accessories, and then we'll get this thing cleaned up and get a coat of paint on it. It's interesting. This side's pretty clean. Well, and they have to take off a couple of things. But this side will be nice and easy to clean up. We'll just clean up some of this area. We're going to get a different thermostat housing. So we'll probably just take and tape off the valve cover. Because why wouldn't you? Yeah. But anyways, that's what we're going to do, so let's get after it. Hey, what's up, guys? Man, what a nice day it is today. Just look at it. Was it missing one? Or did it fall off? Oh, it fell out. I was like, what the heck? Of course. Yeah. I'm going to, we're just going to take everything off it. Gives me a chance to clean everything up individually anyways. This one I think is a long one. Probably gonna take me just about 2 hours is all. Get this thing stripped off and then let's see. That is 15. I wish I could read. 15. Crazy as it is. Get that fuel line off as well. Stink bug. Ooh. Just wrap these in tin foil. I love you. Be safe, please.
Yep.
All right. See you. Bye-bye. This side's pretty much done. Seems like I should have those bolts in there. rest of the stuff. Something tells me that it doesn't need to be that tight. Oh, it just slotted. Awesome. It's in aluminum, guys. You shouldn't have to take a 1/2 inch impact to get bolts out of aluminum. Just saying. Now basically we're just going to get the bulk of it off with the stick, and then we'll get some solvent and if I had a Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to just wipe it all down now. We've wire wheeled it. I'm going to wipe it all down real good. And then we're going to get some tape. We'll tape up the ports, and we'll get some tin foil, and we'll tin foil over the sensors that need to be covered. And once that's done, we'll mix up some paint and get after it. All right, so We got some DDP. We got some tape. And we got some tin foil, Reynolds wrap, aluminum foil. And we're gonna get after taping up these ports. More paint. Because I missed some stuff like an idiot. And so I'm gonna hang this gun up right quick and get after it. Okay. All right, we don't have much battery left. We're going to try and see the metallic in this. Can you see it? So this thing should look good with the hood up. We got it. Notice the green valve cover. Don't pay no attention to that. All right, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you. Yep. Let's check on it. Here's the question. Did it dry? Please be dry. Oh, it is. Oh. You know, once bitten, twice shy, man. I'm glad to see that paint hardened right up. You know, Jessica painted something recently, and we tried to let it dry for over a month, and I ended up just having to wipe the paint off with thinner. This thing is rock solid and nice and shiny. Man, that's cool. All right. So I was worried about it. I came out here last night and fired up the heater, got it a little warmer in the shop. Busy morning. I got a bunch of crap to move. I got to get a tote down and get some pieces loaded in it. I need to get the forklift over here. We got to move Marla out the way and stuff. So we're getting rid of the 12V92 today, and we're getting an MXS Cat. And then we're going to get the shop cleaned up and get ready to get Marla in here. So we'll bring you back. All right, well, figured maybe you guys want to see it get unmasked. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get this flywheel housing acid treated. Once we get it in the truck, we'll just spray it down with a little acid and it'll whiten it right up. I was going to paint it, but, and I guess I might still paint it. I'm not 100% sure. You know, we'll have to see. Well, the valve cover got some overspray on it, but we're not going to leave the green valve cover on it anyways. We're going to color match the valve cover silver with the rest of the truck. We're going to leave the water pump hole covered up right now, as well as the oil cooler. And the exhaust ports. We'll put the exhaust manifold on. We might do that out here. I don't know. We might put the water pump on out here rather than try and do it on the truck. You know, we're definitely going to do this. Oh, we can't. I think we could put the balancer on and put the mount on afterwards. No, the balancer's too big. So we'll get the mount cleaned up first. And then we'll get that put on, and then we'll put the balancer on over that. I got about 5 pieces to get cleaned up today and get in silver. It's going to be, well, maybe more than that, because we're going to do these 3 plus the frame mounts off the bell housing. We'll get all those cleaned up. We're going to pressure wash them. And try and get all the loose paint off them and the grease, and then we'll just scratch them up with a wire wheel and lay them out and get some, well, we'll have to hang them up and we'll get some color on them. These are going to be silver, like the valve cover in the oil pan. Bring it back. Hopefully you can hear me. I think that's out. Got a lot to do today. Once this engine guy comes, and we get that handled, probably be an hour while he's here. But as soon as he leaves, then we're gonna go hardcore, get the pressure washer out, pressure wash those parts, get them cleaned up, and get them hung up off the forklift probably, and mix up some primer and paint and get those things shot in silver. And then while those are drying, we'll be working on the radiator and getting this radiator out of the box and getting the lower mounts on it and cutting the side mounts off, because we know that those aren't going to work. Let's see what else, and get that radiator in the truck. And then I think we're going to try and put the shroud on it. Before we stick it in the truck, we'll see. Actually, no, we'll stick it in the truck first, get that part done, because we can do the shroud afterwards if we have to. We'll get that shroud pressure washed up nice and sanded, and we'll get the cracks fixed. First we'll check it and make sure it's going to work, and then we'll get the thing body worked, painted, and put in. We're probably going to paint that silver. Yeah. All right, so I got to get some anaerobic sealer in order to put the air compressor back on. And I want to do that before it goes in the truck, so I'll get some tonight for sure. These things here go up to the intake manifold. This, I don't know what any of these are. This is some sort of sensor wiring. This is some sort of sensor wiring. This is just a ground. It's going to go right here, but it's ignorant to not just put a good ground wire on there. I don't have a surplus of these bolts like Randy does. Randy's shop has been doing these modern engines for a long time. And he has a lot more. The paint scrapes right off. He has a lot more metric bolts than I do. He's got a bunch of these engines sitting around, you know, cores and blown up stuff that he can just go out to the truck or out to the pile and scavenge off any bolts he might need that he doesn't have in stock. But I don't have that luxury. Sucks to have this ratty ass old wire on here. So what we're gonna do is degrease it. So, okay, so that's done. We'll need, I don't know if we should put that intake manifold on. I think we need to get that gasket material first. But we're not gonna be able to go to town to get it until after they get back, so is what it is. We could clean this motor mount here. Yeah, I wish that this was steam cleaned and acid washed before it was put on, but I'm not going to take it back off because it's just too much to do. I'll just, once I get it in the truck, I'll acid brush it and make it look pretty. This looks pretty good compared to what it did, just being degreased. Wish it had that top bolt, but really not a lot I can do about that. I'll get new fasteners and new isolators for the bolts it does have. It looks like this side's pretty much finished, except for the air compressor, which we can do, but not until like after that guy comes. We'll go to the other side and get that side prepped. Now I don't have a tap big enough for these. I know I'm going to be using these top 4 bolts, so I'm just going to clean the holes using brake cleaner and a bolt. So first I'll get some brake cleaner in there. I sure hope that there's some threads in here. You know what? All right, good. Yep. We'll go to the other side and we'll clean those holes as well. And then this thing is ready for motor mounts and installation tomorrow. Hopefully this paint stays on. That'd be super sweet. We'll try not to gall it all up when we put it in. Oh boy. Well, All right, so I had to go inside for uniform change after I got done blasting these brackets. You see they're already flash rusting. It's no big deal. We're gonna wipe them down. We're gonna mix up some paint. We're gonna get these hanging up probably on the forklift forks. We'll mix up some primer. We'll get these things primered. I was gonna primer this oil pan. I'm not gonna use this oil pan because it's not the right one. But I am going to put it on the engine just to keep it dry and keep it clean. So I was thinking about squirting some paint on it just to see how it does, but it really is greasy and I don't want to spend the time to clean it up. So I'm just gonna dry it off and put it inside and put a gasket on it, and it will raise the engine up and get it on the oil pan. Now there's no oil pump, no oil pickup on there yet. This is the wrong pan, but we just want to get it sealed up tight and get it in the truck and get the truck in the shop. And then we can order the proper pan with pickup tube and oil pump, get that done. Double check the thrust. It's on my mind, so we're just going to give it another look, and then we'll oil this thing up, prime it up, and be ready to start it in December. So I'm just going to clean up the mess from the pressure washer, get this dried off and inside, move these brackets in. So this is hard to paint because the primer and the paint are a similar color, but that's okay. This is the silver metallic that is the stripes on Marla. This paint is obviously color matched from when Marla was new. So I doubt it's going to match super close, but it is the right recipe. I really wanted to paint the bell housing this color, but just too complicated. So this thing shoots a very low pressure. This is just a touch-up gun, and it's made to be precise, not dump a ton of paint on. So it really looks like I'm going over it a lot. But I'm really not. There's not a lot of paint coming out. Matter of fact, when I painted the engine, I didn't even have to cover the floor because there's no overspray really. So this part actually fell off while I was painting it, and so there's a couple spots that got boogered up on my shoe and my pant leg. But it's okay. I think it looks pretty good. I really wanted to do the oil pan of the valve cover, but it's not in the cards for tonight. Man, I used literally 2 ounces. This metallic paint. It's hard on the gun. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to cleaning my guns. And yeah, I already killed the one. I killed the one I did yesterday. And likely the one I did today, I'll be dead too. Just because that metallic. I'll bring you back.